John, what are you doing? What are you doing? Hey, welcome all you medieval bastards. Welcome to the Big Bad Broadcast. Now you can catch us on Spotify. You can the Amazon Fire Stick. You get the Fire Stick, you can get Spotify on it. Or we're also on a Roku. Get a Roku. You know what to do with the Roku. Craig, what do they do with the Roku?
Search for the Big Bad Broadcast.
That's right. Or you can go to bbb.com, the www.bbbradio.com, and you can see us. Welcome to the Big Bad Broadcast. I'm Mike Grief, and always with my buddy, Gian Ferrantino.
Hey, how you doing?
Right.
I just came back from the International Brotherhood of Magicians Convention in Atlanta, and bought some magic tricks. Came home with some magic tricks and COVID.
Whoa.
Oh my
See how the
God!
times change? You used to come home with syphilis. Now you come home
I
with
know.
COVID.
I called the doctor though, but he gave me something to take. Some Popeye spinach.
Finish.
I don't know.
And here's the other part of our team. It's the Yoda, Craig Mitchell.
Yeah, I got some problems this week. I'm going to get ahead of it. Somebody posted a picture of me in the shower on the internet,
Whoa.
and before it gets ahead of me, there it is. All right.
Well, that is me in the shower.
Yeah, it's me.
You
That's
sure
me
that's
in
you?
the
That
shower.
looks like me in the shower.
Looks like me in the shower too.
It looks like all of us in the shower. Thank you. Thank you very
So
much.
what's going on, guys? What's the story? What's the main? What's happening, John? I know you got.
I got the COVID.
You got
The
the
Covis.
COVID.
He has the COVID.
I got the COVID.
Well, now here, let me ask you though, because it's like now everyone always says, and we've talked about this before. You always hear people, "I was so careful, but I got the COVID." Well, now, were you going around without a mask?
I was really careful. My daughter warned me, who's like the COVID-phobe, and she told me, you got to be really careful at your convention. I wore a mask all on the plane through the airport. I wore a mask everywhere, and but apparently,
Were you on by any chance on Air Force One? Because Biden's got COVID too, so I don't know if it's any coincidence.
I know. Well, we got about the same. I have very mild symptoms. It's just more annoying than anything.
What's he point? Cause you see, Biden's got his fingers apart like that. I got this much COVID. I don't know. I was this far away from Ferrantino. Ferrantino gave me COVID. I was only this far.
Your daughter's a COVID phobe?
Yeah.
So she believes two people with COVID can't marry? Is that what that is? What does that mean?
It's very funny
because
she is
people living near me.
She's the most careful person in the world. She got it when she went to New York too.
Right now, though, I tell you, there's one advantage to having COVID for you, John. Right now, you can do a killer impression of Sam Elliott. I can hear it.
My voice,
say beef. What's for dinner? Go ahead.
Beef. It's what's for dinner.
There you go. He's in. There you go. There's no love in that. Beef. What's for dinner? Whatever.
Beef. What's for dinner? What's going on?
It's funny. It's like I don't feel terrible. I mean, I feel like I have a runny nose. I have a cough, but the cough isn't even like a big lung cough. It seems like I thought I had a head cold.
You're
knock on wood, man.
You're vaccinated and boosted, right?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, that's what they say. It's. Listen, I haven't had COVID, and I'm not really afraid of the. It is at this point when you're vaccinated and boosted, it's like getting a little flu or something like that.
Well,
but my fear is what I've heard is the long hauler stuff. People get heart condition, get whatever, or they have to deal with lung issues for.
I think that was really from the first one. This is a different variant.
Yeah,
this is.
What are we on now? Omicron 5. I feel like a fucking. What is it? Rocky movies? It's just. I think it's
Fast and Furious 10 is what we're up to.
It's Omicron 10.
Make fun of that good movie series.
I still haven't seen any of them, John.
So good.
I've got to question your taste here when you're telling me
it's so good.
Yeah, I used to respect your movie taste, John.
Although maybe I got a vendetta, not a vendetta, but I got a little peeve with Vin Diesel. When I drove limousines years ago, and when I drove him once, and so he made me sit outside his house. I had rush. They tell me, get him. He's got to get to the airport. He's got to get on a plane, private, whatever. I race to this guy's house, race there. Then I go and he makes me wait over an hour and a half outside his house while he's doing whatever he's doing.
He was hiding the bloody glove.
Whatever. But then he comes out with this model in like a mini skirt, if you could even call it a skirt, because it was barely there and you can see whatever. And hey, my hat's off to him because she was incredible. But so they get in the car, and then he's telling me, we get lost. And this is before, GPS and everything. I've got the Thomas guide, like,
oh my God.
You don't know how lucky you are today, Craig, to drive and have GPS and all that. Because I did this before there was GPS.
I used to use a Thomas guide. I know. I'm not familiar.
So we show up to the Van Nuys airport, and we're obviously, 40 minutes late for his flight. And he just laughs. And first of all, he blamed me. He gets out the car and they're going, man, you're late. Well, he goes, fucking driver got lost. And I'm like, you bastard, But meanwhile, during the whole ride, he's telling me, don't worry about it. He goes, they're not going to leave without me. It's a private plane. He goes, they're waiting for me. They're not going to leave. And he's right. But I just didn't like the way he blamed me when we got there. The driver got lost.
And
he didn't tip.
What?
Tip. And he didn't tip. Yeah, no tip.
Really?
That's horseshit.
Wow.
So Vin, if you're watching the show, Vin, you owe me a fin. Huh? How about a fin from Vin?
I guess he's the Furious in the Fast and the Furious.
Let's put in a little envelope and mail it.
A little envelope. I'll come by and get it. I know where you live.
Yeah, put some white powder in it too, just to scare him.
He's like Owen Wilson. They're both non-actors.
Owen Wilson? I like Owen Wilson.
I love Owen Wilson, but he's the same in every movie, whether it's a cowboy movie from the 1800s or a movie in the outer space. He's got the same voice.
That can be said about a lot of actors.
Well, yeah, John Wayne. John Wayne was the same in every movie.
John Wayne was never considered a great actor.
He won an Oscar.
Yeah, well,
what did he win for? The Shootist?
No, he won a True Grit.
True Grit, because as he got older, he did change a little bit. He did become more whatever. But you could say, listen, I love what's his name, Ben Stiller, one of my favorite. I love movies. Same in every movie. People say that about De Niro.
It's so funny about Ben Stiller. I never think this is just me. I never think he's funny, and then anything I watch that he said, I laugh my ass off.
Some of my favorite movies. I just rewatched the other night. I watched the Secret Life of Walter Mitty. I love that movie. He's incredible. The Night at the Museum series. I don't know what it is. I mean,
he's pretty.
Brian Scott McFadden's in Walter Mitty. Do you know Brian?
What was that movie he was in where they were like in the jungle when they were
Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder.
He was ripped in that movie.
He was.
All these guys, they freaking have dietitians and chefs and whatever, man. If you can afford to have all that stuff, you can get ripped too.
I'm definitely not ripped. I've never been ripped. I've been torn.
Well, like you said, a six-pack. I've never had a six-pack. I've always had a keg.
I've been torn between cake and a donut, but I've
had a six-pack my whole life. It's just packed in ice.
Mine's packed in blubber.
Yeah. Oh man,
I love that Tropic Thunder movie, man.
Oh, that's a great movie. It really. I love the beginning when they show the the clips of the fake actors. Other movies that they're making.
Satan's Alley.
Yeah, him and Tobey Maguire and
remember the scene where they're walking along and they're talking about how he's never going to win the Academy Award.
Yeah, oh, yeah, because he went full R.
Yeah, full. So anyway. And that's what kind of makes. I mean, nobody uses the R word anymore, but that's what kind of made that scene kind of funny. One, because he was so serious about it. And we watched that movie on regular TV recently.
Oh, they must have done it.
And he goes like this. He goes, you're not going to win the Academy Award. You can't win the Academy Award when you go full special.
Special. They changed it.
Full special.
It was all.
My favorite is when he was an Australian actor playing a black man. So it's basically Robert Downey Jr. playing an Australian, playing a black man.
But
and he's talking to
white guy playing a black.
Right, and he's talking to the other black guy, and he's giving him advice. He's like, "Well, you can move on up. You can East Side." He goes, "Man, are you quoting the Jeffersons to me?" And he goes, "Don't make it not true."
Don't make it not true.
Don't make it not true.
He's a great
Jack
actor.
Black was great in that too. I mean,
He
they
was
were all
great. He was great as a black man.
Robert Downey
Robert.
Jr. was nominated for an Academy Award for that role, and I still believe he would have won if it wasn't for Heath Ledger.
Was that the same year? What, the Joker?
Yeah, Heath Ledger won it posthumously
Hard
after he died.
to beat that performance of Heath Ledger as the Joker, man.
Yeah.
Still to this day, I think that's except for maybe Joaquin Phoenix, but I mean, I still think Heath Ledger nailed it. Was the creepiest, scariest Joker.
That's a great trivia question, by the way. There are three times actors have won Academy Awards for playing the same character. There's just 3 pairs of actors. It was Heath Ledger and Joaquin Phoenix for the Joker. There was Robert De Niro and what's his face, Marlon Brando for playing Corleone, and Cheetah Rivera. Not Cheetah Rivera. Who's she? I can't think of her name. She's
Charo.
Huh? Charo, you said?
Charo, yeah.
Gucci. Yeah, she won an Oscar.
I said Chiquita, so I'm thinking Charo.
Rita Moreno and the girl who won this year for
for the part of I
don't know the name.
Not Maria, but Maria's
other friend.
Anita
who sings and dances. I want to be in America.
Rita Moreno.
I want to live in America. I was in a version of West Side Story many years ago. It was the Camp Luema version of of all the things that just guess what I played.
You played the shopkeeper.
Yeah, I played Doc, the candy store owner, of all things.
I think you told me that.
Yeah. The only good part is I got to slap Tony, so it was a good part.
I saw. Do you ever see East Side Story? You have Satch. You have
East Side Kids.
Mahoney. That's right. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Nobody's going to get that. We're the only people who are going to get that reference. The East Side Comedy Kids.
East Side Comedy. John, yeah, right. I think the COVID's got him down.
You got the COVID?
Are we going to take bets on how long John's like? You're going to see his head start going down.
Is he going to pass out? What do we do?
I keep muting myself from my coughing.
You keep taping. That's what you do.
I was on a cruise ship doing my act, and Rita Moreno was like the headliner on the ship, and she was there with her 16-year-old daughter. And after the show, they invited me to have lunch with them the next day. It was kind of cool. Cool. And then I saw her on Oz, where she played the nun.
Yeah, she's an EGOT, you know.
She's who?
She's an EGOT. Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony. She's one of them all. EGOT. They call that an EGOT.
You call it an EGOT.
She's an EGOT.
Yeah, Italians they say umgot. It's an umgot.
She's an EGOT. Hey, EGOT.
Hey,
now it's like the big thing. Now the big thing is you can't just be great. You have to be considered the GOAT.
The GOAT.
Well, in the old days, the actors we call them a triple threat. If you could sing and dance and act, the triple threat, right?
You're a triple threat, right, Mike?
What's a GOAT stand for?
Greatest of all times.
That's bullshit, though.
You're a triple threat, Mike.
Well, yeah, I'm a triple threat. I can dance.
You gun, brass knuckles, and a knife, right?
No, I don't need a gun. I like to push the bullets in by hand. I don't need a gun. It's more fun. It's more personal.
At the Magic Convention, they gave David Copperfield this big bronze plaque with his face on it. And it showed, man, he had like 16 specials. He's done something like 4,500 shows in the last 5 years. And this was to signify that he is the GOAT of magic, the greatest of all times.
I think I remember when he made an elephant disappear, but he's getting older now. He can only make maybe a horse disappear.
He had.
Do you think he's the greatest of all time?
Probably financially, yeah.
Yeah. Well, what about Harry Houdini? What about Blackstone?
And you also have to remember, too, that in Houdini's day and Blackstone and all these guys, they didn't have the advancements. They didn't have a lot of the stuff that
Doug Henning
today.
Doug Henning wasn't around long enough to become the greatest of all times.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, Michael Carbonaro is always my favorite magician. John Ferrantino and Michael Carbonaro.
In my opinion, I do believe that Doug Henning was the greatest of all times. He's the one that made magic cool. which laid way to the David Copperfield.
What about Burt Wonderstone?
Burt was my hero.
Bert's wonderful. He's great.
So that's a real person? I thought it was a movie.
It is a movie.
That's okay. I'm like, maybe
Burt Wonderstone made a whole audience disappear. I mean, he's amazing.
Yeah, just like all of us, we've all made a career disappear.
Mike, did you ever see that movie?
I did, but so long ago I can't.
He chloroforms the audience at the end, and they drag him up. They tag him to what seats they're in. They drag him and throw them in a truck. They just throwing bodies in a truck.
Before they wake up, they're taking care of the bruises.
Yeah, they got like a makeup artist fixing their faces.
Well, you know what I always wanted to know. And now, John, this is it's related to what you do. You get a lot of these guys, and I guess Joe might know more about it, like a mentalist type, but they get people on stage, and they hypnotize them and make them do stuff, and the people swear that they were really,
real. It's real.
So
I used to do hypnotism.
It's funny to me because it's like not only you think that maybe in private, but here you are on a stage and you're in front of people, and your mind is still so receptive that you can be.
It's worded. Like if they were to say to you, "I want you to take off your clothes," you would never take off your clothes.
Right.
But if they were to say, "It's getting hot in here,"
put on extra clothes, Craig.
No,
put on extra clothes.
It's getting hot in here, and it's like you're starting to burn up. You don't want it. You got to start removing part of your clothes for survival. You'll start taking your clothes off.
Wow.
Will you stop telling me to take off my clothes?
Please, John's sick enough, Craig. Don't take off your clothes.
Well, I thought maybe if he vomited, he'd feel better.
All right. So I checked out some news stories.
Yeah. You should.
Wait, should we play the bumper? We can play the bumper.
Go ahead, play the bumper.
From the BBBRadio.com headquarters, this is Arthur Seal with a breaking news update.
There you go. Bumper.
All right, the first one is if you pull up that picture of the shark.
That's okay. Yeah, that's the.
Okay, so look at the teeth on this thing, man. This is.
I'm not wearing my shark tooth.
This is a sand shark, and they found out there's a nest of them, a breeding nest of them off the coast of Long Island, and people have been getting bit. Their feet,
but they're kind of small, aren't they?
10 foot.
Well, that's not that small.
That's not too small.
They go up to 10 foot. The little ones are about 3 foot, but they say that there's a lot of bait fish this year because the water is really warm, and they chase the bait ship. They chase the bait fish into the shallow area, and then people are walking along, and then they get confused and they think their feet are the bait, and they bite their feet. So. There's interesting that says, look at, if you can see the face on that thing, I was going to show you. I'll put it back. It says that if you're approached by one of these, you have to walk very slowly out of the water backwards. Keep an eye on it. And if it gets too close, you need to punch it in the nose.
You gotta Now, you know what?
Look at that thing. You're going to punch that thing in the nose?
I was just watching one of those Shark Week specials. They say if you look them in the eye, they don't usually attack you. They're aware that you can see them.
And if they get too close, John can give them COVID.
And who was it? Somebody had a bit about that. He said, "Fucking goes shark go by, they punch him in the nose." And I was like, what if the shark wasn't really going to attack you, and you punch him in the nose, and now he's like angry. Now I gotta attack you. You fucking punch me in the nose in front of my friends.
What if he's like Sylvester Stallone? Oh, I don't believe you just punched me in the
nose. If you do that and you punch him in the nose, and then at that point, if he wasn't going to attack you, you have to beat him off with a stump. But yeah, I'll tell you the truth. 5 people in a week were bitten on Long Island.
Well, see, but at least that's an accidental bite.
But their feet, right? Just on
their feet. Sharks almost never attack a person on purpose. It's almost always a mistake. Or if you notice,
you're wrong. No, I saw Jaws 3. It was revenge. it was personal. Revenge.
No, but if you notice a lot of attacks, if you watch the thing, the shark actually will bite somebody and let them go because that's what the shark is doing. It's testing to see what the hell you are. It doesn't have hands, feet, it can't just feel or, whatever. It'll take a little bite and let you go to see what, although we're human, we're soft, we'll bleed to death. But the shark didn't mean to do it. So, he'll buy you a card, hey, sorry, I bit you,
Sorry, I bit you.
Sorry,
Well,
I bit
You're pushing bullets in.
The part of Florida that I live in is the shark bite capital of America. So I don't know about that.
Oh, the shark.
I don't know. Well, like I said, I you know what? You mentioned Jaws, and to be honest with you, after I saw the movie Jaws when I was a kid, I didn't go in the water on the beach anywhere. Must be 30 years. I just started going, and I don't go in far now. I only go up to maybe, my knees or something like that, which really doesn't matter. Sharks now, or they see them in shallow.
That's where they get you. So most
Joe Biden saw a shark. Look how big it was.
Hey, it was this big.
Most beaches roll to the ocean. Then there's a trough. Then it gets deep again. Sorry.
It's all right.
Now a COVID moment by John Frantino. There it goes.
For the person who has everything, a COVID moment.
Yeah.
So in that trough, which is very close to the shore, that's where they patrol.
Yeah.
Yeah. At Jones Beach, we used to go body surfing, and they said, "Don't walk out," and you just take that one step, and you're,
that trough is where the sharks are.
I watch, now, and it's Shark Week or month or whatever it is now. I've been watching all these Shark Attack shows, and you know what I miss? I mean, I don't know if I'm sure you guys were fans. I loved Jacques Cousteau when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Why would I be a fan?
Why wouldn't you be a fan of Jacques Cousteau? Yeah, it was all.
I didn't like the Pink Panther movies.
That's Inspector Clouseau.
Oh, you're right.
Dave Horton used to do that bit about, I will now see Jacques Cousteau. He is on the deck of the boat. Excuse me, crew. I have to make an announcement. There'll be no going down in the mini sub and no going down on the mini sub.
What was that movie with the Life Aquatic with that Bill? That's when I was driving. When I was driving the limousine. I got to drive. What's his name? The
Bill Murray.
No, the one who played Jesus. The one who played Jesus.
Henry Cavill.
No.
Wow. All right.
Willem Dafoe. Yes.
All right. We got on the third Jesus.
And I was shocked because he was such a you see people in movies, you have no clue.
He's a tiny guy, right?
Little guy, maybe five something, maybe, thin little, small little guy.
Did he have his legs on?
Legs on?
Didn't he have no legs in Forrest Gump?
No, that's
Gary Sinise.
All right.
There's a big difference between Gary Sinise and Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, one's the Green Goblin. One's the Green Goblin. The other is Lieutenant Dan.
It's not working properly.
Another COVID moment by John.
The COVID mind fog. Watch and observe.
John, man, you got some cough syrup there? Come on, man. Put a little cough syrup in the coffee.
Just get some maple syrup and cough into it. Then you have cough syrup. There you go.
So are you enjoying Shark Week? Obviously, that was a great white shark washed up on the shore in Long Island. I was a juvenile, but still, I think that would freak me to fuck out.
Out here, there was a Chinese restaurant I ate here 40 years ago when I visited California, and they served shark fin soup.
Yeah,
it was great, but I hear now it's illegal. You can't do it.
Illegal.
Well, not only that, they said years ago if you ate scallops, you were eating shark. Well, they would.
Yeah,
they were substituting it.
Wow, the shark is tasty then, man.
They take a cookie cutter and they cut out.
Is that true?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I thought that I would have thought that shark would be more like say swordfish.
It's very white. It's very, very white.
Hey, honestly, if it tastes like scallop, man, I mean, shoot,
give me anything like scallop, but most people
love scallops.
Don't know what scallops taste like.
Scallop is my favorite seafood, bar none. I love scallops.
Yeah, I go to an Italian place for seafood. I get veal scallopini.
Veal scallopini, hey, yeah.
Me and the puns. I don't know. It's in my DNA.
I like fried oysters, are my new favorite.
I love anything fried. You can fry my sunglasses.
Fried, yeah, but I don't. You know what? It's everyone's going to eat them. Everyone's going to show off. I remember even my brother. When they were out, and he's got oysters and clams raw, and it's like No, oh yeah, no, you got to suck it down and get it, and before you taste it. I'm like, then it's not good. You're not telling me it's good. You're telling me that you're brave enough to suck a snot down your throat. That's all you say.
I used to go to this place in New Orleans, and it was 10 cents an oyster. And then they had a barrel with horseradish root that you put in this machine.
Oh, I would love that.
And it was the hottest horseradish you ever tasted.
I love horseradish.
We get like a whole cafeteria tray for like $5. Like 50 oysters on it. Oh man,
Raw, you'd eat them raw?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the trick is what? Like you say, suck it down without really tasting it.
You put some red hot on it too.
So are you going to tell me you enjoy the taste?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. You got to chew them. If you swallow them, why bother?
That's what I'm saying. Most people just swallow it, and they try to say they like it, but they don't. They're just, you know. He must have really caught. I heard it right through the mute.
You busted the mute, John. I like the clam juice that's left over too. That's really good.
Fading, guys.
Hey. John is fading. Pretty soon you'll see he's just going to start taking a nap while we're talking. So what was the other story? You had another story, John. Didn't you have something?
Did you have another story?
Okay, remember those beautiful monarch butterflies?
Yes, I took a picture of one in my backyard the other day.
They're on the endangered list now.
Really?
Yeah. So apparently they winter in Mexico, and then they fly all the way across the country, then return to Mexico.
They're getting some cocaine there and flying.
So the Biden administration is stopping them at the border. Is that why they're endangered?
Yeah, probably. But yeah, I was surprised to hear that because they used to be all.
Wait a minute, hold on. You remember the chant? Build that net. Build that net. Build that net.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, my grandmother had a house in Point Lookout, and across the street there was like this grotto. It was like part of this church, and I guess it was in July or September. We'd go there, and there were thousands of them just everywhere you looked. They'd all come to these plants.
Yeah.
Now it's like, it's pretty sad.
Don't you remember in school they used to bring out the projector like, "Yay, movie!" Right? And they'd be like, "The monarch butterfly." And it's cocoon. And watch as the cocoon slowly turns transparent. And you see it inside there with the wings.
Why did your teacher do that?
No, his teacher didn't do that. Craig used to sit there and do that because thank God I'm a country boy.
Miss Johnson, I think I've gone full special. Yeah.
But John, so why is the butterfly gone?
They don't know. They don't know.
Because I mean, really, that would be a shame. Because I mean, just they do. I love butterfly. I appreciate them. You know, they're beautiful animals.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
Insects, whatever.
Isn't that what they make butter out of? Maybe that's why. Maybe we have too much butter. No.
But hold on. For even
pun
John,
number 4.
Dummy.
Pun number 4. We're 30.
It's what the fuck? I got nothing else going on.
Backdrop is all cockeyed.
I know.
Yeah. So the butterfly is well, whatever, man. I guess listen. I'll tell you one thing about an insect. They can be on the endangered list, but you never know. One year, they probably lay 100 million eggs, and then in a year or two from now, there'll be too many monarch butterflies. We'll be eating them again. I mean,
I was surprised that they say they fly all the way to from Mexico.
Yeah, I mean, some species do travel all the way across. Birds travel all the way across the country. And
then there was another study that said that some spiders are afraid of other spiders.
Yeah,
well, that's a smart spider.
Yeah, really. I think if I was a small spider and I saw like a tarantula, I'd be like, "Hey, Joey, I was just gonna go get a sandwich. You want a sandwich? You want some? I'll pick it up for you. No, you don't worry. You stay right there. I'm gonna go get it for you."
Yeah, Mike. If you were a spider, I'd be scared of you. Definitely.
That was the only commercial that was funny with the emu commercial where the guy he goes, "This is a spider." It goes up his arm and it bites him.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, I'm starting to get my spider powers." You
know what's funny is they actually have wranglers for that. I did a commercial one time with a spider.
Spider wrangler?
They have wranglers. I did a commercial for Lifesavers years ago. If you look it up on YouTube or something, it's called Life is Sweet. And I think that was the one. Yeah, it's like where remember the lifesavers. You do something nice and you get a thing around your head, and so I was
a halo.
Yeah, so I'm supposed to be a trucker at a diner, and the guy next to me is staring at this spider, and he goes to kill it, and I grab his arm, and I get a halo and whatever. It was a cute little commercial, but anyway, it just was funny because spiders they have their own wranglers and.
Well, my friend lives in Australia, and I always tease him about, I would never come and visit you because you see the pictures on the internet of these gigantic friggin' spiders on the side of a house. I go, dude, you got spiders bigger than the side of my house. I'm not coming down there. And he goes, he's like, hey, Mike, it's not the big ones you gotta watch out for. It's the little ones that'll kill you.
So your buddies with Crocodile Dundee, huh?
He is. He has a knife.
I had friends with a girl on the ship from Australia, and she goes, you just have to remember, if you come to Australia, anything that walks, crawls, slithers, or flies will kill you.
Will kill you. Well, if you think about it, you see that most of them you're scared of, and probably they're harmless, a lot of that stuff. Think about it. Look at, like you say, a spider, but you see a crab. I'm not afraid of a crab. I'm going to eat a crab. But you can't tell me a spider looks any scarier than a crab looks.
So that was another story. There's a story of a place in Massachusetts. Apparently, there's a green crab that's really invasive.
Yeah.
Over on the bottom of ships. And this one town in Massachusetts is just invaded with them. So now they're making whiskey out of them.
Oh, I did run across that story. That's got to be a strange freaking.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, they're making crab flavored. Whiskey. I can't even listen. I don't drink, so I'm not going to try it. But I can't even imagine.
Can we make vodka out of Putin? Can we try that?
Why not? He's Russian. I'm sure that
Well, going back to spiders for a second. Here's what I was helping my friend move, and his car was parked in this little carport.
John, what are the odds that Craig was actually helping somebody move?
Well, whatever. So he was constipated. Anyway, so there was a spider web on his car because he hadn't moved the car in a long time, and this is out here in California, and I killed a spider like that, and he went, no! And he grabbed my hand like this and ran me into his house and put me under the water. I go, what are you doing, man? I just killed a spider. He goes, it was a brown recluse.
Oh, now that's
probably you get that stuff anywhere, and you're gonna be really sick and maybe die.
That's one of the most poisonous snakes in the world, I think.
All right, so it's not a snake, it's a spider. But
a spider? Did I say snake?
When my son was playing football and it had just rained, and he kneeled down and he got bit by kneel on top of a brown recluse spider.
Wow. Shit.
The next day, he had a sting on his knee that was the size of an egg. So we went to the doctor, and the doctor goes, well, this is the problem. He goes, the brown recluse leaves like an egg in there.
Oh, that's nice.
And what it happens is it's like an egg of poison, and then it will break open and get deeper and break open and get deep. So he goes, you can just soak the thing and let's hope for the best. He goes, but if anything comes out, you got to, my son was young. So anyway, he took a shower one night, and he comes out of the shower, and he goes, yeah, this little white thing came out, looked like a tic-tac, came out of my knee.
Tic-tac.
And that was the
tic-tac, yeah. And he goes, I go, well, did you get it like he said? He goes, no, it went down the drain. And that was it. It healed. And the doctor was like, he is so lucky that came out in one piece.
Wow. It's like I say, people are afraid of, like I get in my backyard, I've killed many black widows. But a black widow probably bite you. You get a little sick. I have a friend who's been bitten many times by black widows.
Yeah, but Mike, what about spiders?
That's yes. Pun number 5. So, but it's like at least you won't die. But the brown recluse actually can, from what I've heard, can kill somebody.
They say that I live here in Van Nuys. They're saying that under the foundation of my house in the dark, there's probably thousands of black widows.
Probably.
That's where they hang out.
But like I said, they won't kill you.
What was that, John?
We don't have those in Florida.
No, but you have fire ants in Florida, which are worse.
You got other things. You know what you got? Forget about spiders and snakes and all that shit. You got humidity. You got humidity.
So one day I go in my backyard, and there's a fluorescent green lizard
Never go near the
about
colorful
20 inches
things.
long.
Yeah.
Do you sell you insurance?
It's against the fence, right? And I go, it must be somebody's pet, that must have got out. So I take my pool skimmer net and I go up to it. And I'm about 10 feet away from it. And I go to put it over. And I swear to God, this thing got up on its hind legs and went and ran down the fence, up the fence, down the grass. And then got on the end and just kept like hissing at me. I was like,
they're not pets, man. There's another one that's bright green and has black stripes. And they grow huge. I've seen them in Florida. They're an invasive species, but they're gorgeous. But yeah, they're just.
So it's like fluorescent green, right?
Yeah, there's fluorescent green ones. Then there's like 3 or 4 different types of lizards just run.
How about in Florida where they have all those iguanas? We don't have them so much here because I'm above the frost line.
The only way these invasive species you're ever going to get rid of is you got to put them on the menu. Right. See, if people start eating them and they become popular, then
how many times we hear in Florida where the weather drops to like 40 and these things start falling out of trees on people? Happens all the time.
Look it up. Don't walk under trees. No, I believe it.
Falling out of trees.
Iguanas and snakes falling out of trees.
Because are they dead or just frozen?
Well, they're cold-blooded, so when it gets cold,
they don't have any energy, so they go unconscious or whatever.
Yeah, I guess they can't live. I don't know.
Cold-blooded, watch it and see. They're going to drop out of that.
They need the heat of the sun to come and warm the blood.
The heat. They need the heat.
So are we doing? I have a story. It's weird. This is. I don't
know
your
story.
Didn't you have another one, John?
No, that's about it.
Do your story already.
I thought this was pretty hilarious. A man accused of killing his friend to stop him from summoning Sasquatch. They were fishing. They were noodling. You know what noodling is? You ever
It sounds dirty.
You stick your arm down a catfish's mouth.
Well, no, you stick your hand in a hole underwater, so it is dirty. Craig, I'm sure, would love it. You go down and you stick your hand in a hole and you wait for the catfish to grab onto your hand like it's something to eat, and then you pull out the catfish. It's noodling.
Really?
So yeah. So they were
talking like catfish, like 2 and 3 foot catfish,
even bigger. There are catfish that are
fried catfish.
Enormous. Yeah, I could go for a piece of fish right now.
Nice
you ever go fishing for the mighty gefilte?
No, whitefish. I get the whitefish.
I need a gefilte.
Gotta go to a good neighborhood though.
But how this guy killed his friend because he thought he was summoning Bigfoot? I want some of what he was smoking.
That's insane.
Hey, what are you doing over there, Bobby?
I think he watched one too many episodes of The $6 Million Man. That's what I think.
Better leave that fish in the hole, pal. Why? Because I'm telling you, Bigfoot likes fish. That's why. You don't want to pull that fish.
Have you ever seen that show where they go after Sasquatch? There's a big guy that looks like Dave Hawthorne. Yeah. They make him run across the road to simulate the squatch. They don't never call it Sasquatch. They call it squatch.
You don't want to get sued, but yeah.
And it's easy to find. He's doing commercials for beef jerky.
Yeah, Harry and the Hendersons.
And they never even come close to it. And they go every week they investigate. And nothing ever happens. The show's been on 4 years.
That's like all these shows. Okay, we got if
they ever find it, the show's over. So of course
then what's this other one now? There's the I haven't watched it, but the thing that Skinwalker Ranch, right? What's supposed to be the aliens or some shit?
Yeah.
Then there was the other one where there was a thing where Fortune was supposed to be buried by the.
That's the one where got the caves underground, right?
Yeah, the island or whatever the hell. I
was getting claustrophobic. I got claustrophobic just watching that show.
Yeah,
the guy went into a cave underwater where he had to turn sideways, and he went 2 miles in.
No,
I was getting claustrophobic just watching.
Nah. See, if I want to watch some fantasy,
and Craig, it was pitch black. The guy was on a oscilloscope screen where he could see it through infrared. He'd go 2 feet, make a left, turn sideways. Do it. No.
Yeah, I forgot what the heck was the name of that one. I know what you're talking about, but I think if I want to watch fantasy, like weird, whatever. I like Ancient Aliens. You ever watch Ancient Aliens? Or then there's always Fox News. If you want to watch stuff,
that's fiction.
There's always Tucker Carlson.
God, I can't. I put it on for 2 seconds, and then as soon as he opens his mouth, I got to switch it because I just want to like choke the TV, and I can't fit my hands around the screen.
I know. I put it on every once in a while just to see what the other side is, and I can't do it in more than 2 minutes.
Can't do it.
I just don't understand how they can let themselves be talked into the most ridiculous. If you're and even the conservative, I won't even say Republicans, the conservatives I know, they're not stupid people. But they allow themselves. Now, this is my dilemma. Are they allowing themselves just to be fooled, or are they really just that racist, that sexist, that homophobic, that they just agree with all this stuff so much that they don't care? It's like, that whole thing. It's like I'll believe any. I don't really believe it, but I'll go along with it because I hate these people just like this guy does.
Right. I saw this interview with this woman. The two that always crack me up is one is that Trump put on the first big satellite through SpaceX, which he didn't. And then all of the votes went from the machines up to that.
I saw that one.
And then came down as Biden votes. And the other one is that Biden isn't really the president, that there are people wearing masks. And when he fell up the stairs getting on the plane.
Come on.
The woman
said, this one woman said it was Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey. Yeah. The woman said she knows it was Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
I think what we have seen here is that the majority or a vast amount of Americans are mentally disturbed.
No, I don't think so. I think the mass majority of Americans are reasonable, decent people.
It's
a small percentage, but they're the loudest.
Yeah.
That's all.
You got to be stupid to be loud, I guess. That's why I'm always screaming.
No, it's not. It's a matter of they're just hateful. It's the thing. Whatever. Listen, truthfully, hate is based on fear. If you go into the subject, why do these people hate immigrants so much? Why do they hate this one, that one, the other? It's because they're afraid. They're gay marriage because they're afraid. Now they'll never admit that I'm afraid of a gay guy. I'll beat the hell out. No, it's bullshit. They are afraid. Either they're afraid of their own, somewhere deep, buried deep, that they think that they have some kind of gayness in them, or what a gay whatever the hell, or they're afraid of there's still that whole AIDS stigma thing. But actually,
there's monkeypox goes getting blamed on gays. So
exactly. See, but you know what I've always learned? It's like, look, it goes back to in ancient history. There always has to be somebody to hate. There always has to be somebody to focus your attention on. It's not my fault. I'm a loser, that I can't make money, that I can't this and that. It's the Jews. It's the gays. It's the you name it. It's the whoever.
There was a guy on TikTok who actually just very calmly, he was just putting it out into the vapor, and he went, if you're married and you're a conservative, you're right wing, you go to church, you're married, you spend the day with your wife, you spend the night with your family, you go to sleep, you wake up, you have breakfast, you go to work, you do this for months and months on end, and who some gay person marries has no effect on your life whatsoever.
Yeah.
Why are you making it such a big deal?
Mm-hmm.
But because I'm sorry, that's where you come into religion. Religion comes into it because
but if you look at it, like I say, there's nothing in the Bible about homosexuality.
I know that, but that was changed in 1946, actually. So I saw that on TikTok also. Somebody came out with an older version of the Bible that prior to 1946, that key phrase in the Bible was "man should not lay with youth."
Right.
And in 1946, they changed it to man. Man shall not lay with man.
Man shall not lay with youths. Two youths.
Two youths.
A couple of youths.
Yeah.
Who changed it in 1946?
What was that?
Who changed it in 1946?
That's when they made a major change to the King James Bible, and they changed that, and it went into publication. And so, if you have an older Bible, that's what it'll say, youth. It won't say.
Listen, if you go into ancient history and you go when they were creating the Bible, there's a lot of stuff they omitted, things that were just as valid, just as legitimate as all these other things that are in the Bible, but they left them out because they had reasons to leave them out. They were being persecuted, they were whatever they had, and this is where the original thing
for thousands of years, Mike,
between Christians and Jews comes in. This is why people hate Jews a lot, because in the very beginning, Christians were trying to separate themselves with Jews because the Jews were persecuted and whatever. And so they were starting this new religion, Christianity, and they didn't want to be associated. They didn't want people coming after them the way they went after the Jews.
The Bible has been written and rewritten and reinterpreted for forever, since whatever. King James, it was like, what was that, like in the 1000 AD?
Yeah,
completely rewrote it. So in my opinion, the Bible, and I'm going to piss off people, I don't really care. In my opinion, the Bible is the longest game of
telephone tag.
That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. And it's changed so much, and people bend it to fit their agendas. And today they're still doing it. I mean, look at the Supreme Court.
Well, it goes to the original thing now. Did man create God, or did God create man? It depends on if you're a true believer. Yeah, you believe whatever. You have to have faith. Faith has you don't need evidence. But there are, people that believe that man created God because the people were undisciplined. People were doing all kinds of things. They needed a system of making people afraid of something so they would behave during their lives. So they put down all these rules and everything, and said, oh, there's, God's watching you. He sees you. If you do this murder, if you do crime, if you do this, that, if you lay with Utes.
I don't know. We got this topic
in the Bible.
We just swerved into this area.
It says it right in the Bible. He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake.
There you go.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's Santa.
That's Santa.
Do you want my new story? It's probably not going to be so impactful, but I figured we're getting close to the end. We should end on something humorous. Maybe.
Now, the end is
near.
Go ahead.
I did it highway. Watch out. Okay. So this is actually highway fits in. I found a story online about, and I have personal experience with this too. These two women were outside a barbecue club, some kind of club.
A barbecue club.
Whatever it was. They called it a barbecue club. So I guess it was
like
a restaurant.
that. I don't go there to drink. I go there for
barbecue. That they just
listen, Sally, you're wasting on short ribs.
Yeah. And so a Honda Accord pulls up. They get into the back seat and they take off. They thought they're Uber. It wasn't an Uber. It was a drunk guy leaving the place. And they're in the back seat going, where are you going? He's like, I don't know. And they got all upset because they got to this guy's car and he was drunk. So they call the police from the back of the car. Our Uber driver is drunk. And he's like, I don't drive for Uber. And because I've had that happen. I've had people open my car door and just get in my car. I go, who the hell are you?
Yes.
You're my car, right? You're in a black Porsche, right?
See, if I Uber, man, if I check the driver, I check his
license plate.
And if his driver's got a brain, he's checking me too.
Well, we don't have any way to check you because you know what? I would say 99% of the time, nobody puts a picture on it, and if it is, it's got a mask on.
Well, you could ask. See, what you do is you don't say, "Are you Mike?" You just say, what's your name?" Going? And then they give you name and where you're going, and then the driver should have that information.
It's so loaded against the driver. It's not even funny. But now, speaking of that, I'm driving the other night, and I pick up these two women, who were going from a club to their home in Long Beach. It was a long ride. It was like 45 minutes. And there's a sound as an Uber driver you never want to hear at 12:30 at night when you're driving 70 miles an hour on the 605. You don't want to hear this. You don't want to hear that,
especially not coming from yourself.
It was actually on the radio, and but I go like, "Are you okay back there?" And it was like silence. I go, "Are you okay back there?" I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. There's two girls. I go, "Did you get sick?" And the girl who didn't throw up goes, "Yeah, she got most of it in her purse."
Oh wow, how polite. That is so nice to throw up in your purse instead of all over your seats.
And I'm like, should I pull over? I'm like, no, she's done. Another 5 minutes. I'm like, come on. You need me to pull over? What are you doing? It's the purse.
Drunk? Were they drunk?
They were coming from a club in Hollywood. So okay, I would imagine. So the other girl gets on the phone and goes, yeah, Janet's sick. Yeah, okay, you'll meet us outside. Bye. I'm like, what the hell? So I drive to there. It was a big apartment complex in Long Beach. I drive there. The girl's father is standing outside with a bucket of soapy water and a sponge.
Wow.
And as soon as I got a drop off, they get out of the car and he cleans the back seat. It wasn't really that bad.
Now you see where it comes from. See, you learn these things at home. Here's a girl who was polite enough to throw up in her purse because she learned from her father. Then he came down, he cleaned your car. See, that's old school. That's old school.
But I'm thinking this was so smooth.
Not to drive.
And I got a $40 tip out of it, which is nice. And I'm thinking to myself, something tells me these guys have been through this before.
Well, now you need
they weren't related to Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
No. But you know what?
$40 worth of those pine trees now to hang from your mirror.
I'll tell you what I learned. I did learn something, and this is a conclusion I came to because of an Uber ride. I picked up these 2 Russian women. They were definitely Russian. They didn't speak English, and were having trouble finding their place where they lived. And I because somebody put in the wrong address. And they keep on trying to hand me their phone. And I'm like, okay, I'll look. And I take the phone, and now I know the app inside and out, but it's all in Russian. All of it's in Russian. And I know the app. I'm like, I have no idea what I'm looking at. It's all in Russian, you know? And we finally got them home. I dropped them off, and I realized something. They handed me an app I'm very familiar with, but it was written in Russian, and I couldn't figure it out. So that proves without a doubt that in the movie Gravity, there's no fucking way Sandra Bullock could read the instructions in that Russian space capsule. She would have died. That's the conclusion I come to.
Okay. Wow.
Right.
And that is a very current and pertinent point that you've made there.
It's current. It's 9 years ago.
Well, here's the question now. Since you're talking about your rideshare, you got people throwing up. Have you ever had anyone having sex? I mean, besides you in the back seat.
I never had sex in my car ever. Come on, I don't even fight. So
you've had people fooling around in the back?
And
a whole full Monty or what?
Well, definitely deep.
Or just knuckle the garf.
Deep. I don't know what that is. Deep kissing and hand up the bra and all that. And I'm driving and it's like I'm like plus they have their masks off.
You just look right in the rearview mirror and go nice.
Yeah, you guys don't mind if I'm filming, right?
I have a camera that films the inside of the car. So after they're getting really into it, I go, I don't mean to interrupt, but you guys do know you're on camera, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, you're filming us? I'm like, I'm filming the car. What you're doing just happens to get in the way of the camera. Yeah. You got to erase that. I go, no.
Yeah.
Where are the films?
That used to be part of my favorite part of my. I did a security. I worked security.
COVID got better over there. Where are the films?
This is another thing. Years ago, to film in between acting jobs. Many years ago, I did security. I had a day job as a security. Well, it was actually night. I worked nights overnight. So
porn company?
No. It was a condo building. But the thing is that you get people go up on the roof and they don't know there's cameras everywhere. And so, I mean, I did catch people having sex on the roof and whatever. And just, I love it because they just, come down and they walk right by you and they wave. And I'm like clapping. Hey, great show. Nice to see you, Bronco Bob.
Oh, my God.
I have a story similar to that. I used to do a lot of photography. So there was this woman who actually worked in the post office. Mm-hmm. And she hired me and she said, I want to do like a full bondage shoot.
Nice.
And I was like, what? And she was like, yeah. So I decided they were building an apartment building, so it was all like open concrete and, like just really looked bad.
Contrast to
I said, look, we got to do this at 6:00 in the morning on a Sunday since we know there won't be anybody there. So I go up there to do the shoot. And all of a sudden, this workman, like a guard, comes walking in. And he's like, what's going on here? And I said, hey, man, I'm just a photographer. I'm just getting their pictures. If you want to stay, you can hold these reflectors. And he's like, really? And he held it. And I finished the shoes.
Now, was she naked besides
No, but she just had on like a lot of leather and chains. And
did you do it? Have you ever done any nudes or things like that for women? Jay's blushing. Yeah, come on. That's not something you have to think about, John. That's a yes or no, real quick.
It's so funny because years ago, every woman wanted to be in Playboy,
right?
And now everyone wants to be in Maxim magazine. That's their goal
Right.
So they want to be like semi-naked, not showing anything, but like boob underneath and stuff like that.
Under, yeah, or side. I know.
But
he still didn't answer us.
No, he's just stalling.
No,
you got COVID, guys. What do you want? What'd you say? I forgot the question.
Of course, of course I have.
And then now the other great question you have: can you show us?
No,
show us the pictures
off the air. Maybe
it would be a violation, but yes, I can tell you.
Oh, like there's some sacred fucking bond between photographer and his models.
Yeah, there is.
That would be immoral.
There is. There definitely is. It's called being sued.
Yeah, there's releases and everything.
Oh man,
so it's crazy.
Yep.
Wow. So we have about 5 minutes left. What are we going to do to wrap this up?
What are we going to do to wrap this up?
Put some toothpicks in my eyes to keep them open.
Yeah, John, you're waning. John's waning.
Really?
You all right? You
hanging another COVID moment by John Ferrantino.
I'm trying, man.
You got now. Do you got the stuff you need? I mean, what you got your medications and things? They have like a pill or something. I think
what is it called, Craig?
Blaxvoid something weird.
Because there is something that supposedly makes the symptoms go.
That's what I took, but it just makes you sleep.
That's okay. I can deal with that.
Nothing wrong with sleeping through it, man. Shit.
Well, I took my test. I took my test last night, and it came up negative. And if I feel crappy tonight, I still have a runny nose. If I feel crappy later today, I'm going to take it again just in case.
Oh, you guys are making me very nervous. I know the numbers are going up.
You can't catch. You can't catch it by StreamYard. You're okay.
No, but I have to. I told you I'm flying in a couple of days. I got to take I'm going to be on a bunch of planes.
Get an N95, man.
I have them. Trust me, I have them.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm surprised. I'm not trying to get it, but I've been driving since last August. 40 to 50 people in my car every weekend.
Yeah,
and so far so good. But
well, also you've been vaxxed and boosted and all that. You may have had it and not known it. There are people who have no symptoms.
That's true. Yeah. That's very, very true.
I mean, it's funny because I have it so mildly compared to the guy that was at the table who had like big fever and body aches and
See, none of that shit bothers me. You know what bothers me? I don't want to lose my sense of taste, man. I love my food. Fuck that. Give me the fever. Give me the cough. Give me all that other shit. Don't take away my taste buds.
There's new variants.
What you're wearing, you have no taste.
This new variants apparently doesn't do that.
Right.
So.
I mean, I'm so sick of the variants. Will they just stop? Come on. I don't think this is ever going to stop. It's going to be like you're not going to know if you have the COVID or the cold from now on.
Well, it doesn't matter. You can be as sick of it as you want. It's not done till it's done, if it'll ever be done. Unfortunately, I mean, I'm sure we're going to have to go for yearly shots, COVID shots, as well as our flu shot, at least for a while. Who knows?
I don't know.
I want to know what's going on with that cancer drug they came up with. Remember, there was a whole testing where it was like a dozen people who had cancer. They gave them this drug, and they weren't making progress. They were cured.
Yeah, the guy who invented it got thrown off a roof.
But you notice you're not hearing anything. It's like
I know.
There's so much money in cancer drugs and treating cancer that I'm telling you, I always said it's like there's probably 20 or 30 cures for cancer, and the guys who invented they're all buried in the desert here. Yeah,
that's what I said about AIDS a long time ago. I said they'll never cure it, but they'll find a treatment. You have to take pills every day for the rest of your life.
Well, you got to take your hat off to them. I mean, that AIDS epidemic, people were dying. My buddy, he has passed away, but he had two brothers that both died early on. And then I had a second. I think I told you that story. I had my father's uncle, his son, so it was my father's cousin, was one of the first when you started first hearing about AIDS. He was a hairdresser. He got AIDS. He got sick. He died. His father was so ashamed that all of this never told. We never knew it. We didn't know about it till years later. And it's just incredible to see how far that the movement for the whole gay LGBTQ it's amazing. And I know we got a huge amount to go, but don't turn your nose up at the progress that society has made.
Yeah.
Well, on that happy note,
On that happy note, hey, we're glad you could spend time with us. We had a good time, even though John has COVID. He gave us some COVID moments. And we are the we're soon to be something else, but you'll find out about that.
Yeah,
but remember to I'm sorry, I was just going to say, you know,
I was going to say, tell them the truth that this is the last appearance of the Big Bad Broadcast.
We're repackaging and renaming, and we're changing our underwear and doing a lot of things.
In truth, we're actually going to go out on a rescue mission and find Joe, and then we're going to rebrand everything.
But you can catch this version and our next version and an earlier versions on Spotify. You can get a Amazon Fire Stick. You can catch it on Roku.
Download the app and then search for the Big Bad Broadcast.
Download the this is what I did. I had the Fire Stick. I downloaded Spotify, and I got the Big Bad Broadcast, so I can watch it on my big screen TV. And you can also see
Fire Stick. Go to the doctor. A little penicillin.
Little penicillin. There you go.
John has a Fire Stick right now.
I got bloody Fire Stick in my anyway. Or you can go to www.bbbradio.com, and that's our website, which is a lot of cool stuff there, which hopefully we're going to get some merch that we can start giving away and selling. Merch. And
people won't even know if I survived COVID.
Oh, we will. We will. We'll be back. We'll be back in a month to update to see if John survived.
My eyes are closing, man. Look at
this is we're ending on a.
All right. Anyway, until we meet again, people. I'm Mike Grief.
I'm John Ferentino,
and I'm the Beaver.
You're the anti-Beaver.
I'm the anti-Beaver. Yeah.
And we will see you in our next life.
Yes.
I hope I do see you on the next show.
We will.
Tune into our new show to see if John survives.
Oh, man.
All right, man.
Bye-bye.
Please remember to like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Thank you.